Hello again, guys and gals, welcome back to Fendt Farm. It is Friday, and apologies for this video being out later than planned. I was hoping to get this out a few hours earlier. However, when recording a load of footage, I didn't actually have my mic switched on, so when I finally edited everything together and got it ready for release, I realised there was absolutely no commentary track at all. So apologies for that. I'll bring you up to speed with exactly what we've done in the footage that you've missed. So, all the straw that we had on fields 4, 5, 6 and 7 and 8 has been baled up and sold off. All of the grass that was down here on field 33 has been collected up as well. We had some rows of hay. That's all been baled up and then deposited down here next to the cows. And I have also ploughed fields 4, 5, 6 and 7 and 8 together into one big field. So there we go. That is our new field here, for nice and large. We've extended all the way across here, cleaned off the edges, made them nice and square, so we have a really nice big field here to work with. Our silage is ready, and I will be working the silage pit in just a moment. I'm going to go and deposit this plough onto fields 2 and 3, get him working away, and we are going to do some work on our silage pit, start earning some extra money. I've also bought in a couple of extra little bits and bobs. You may have noticed that field 33 was showing as corn there. Now, I did initially thought that I had planted that with soybeans. Not soybeans, sorry, sugar beets, ready for the pig harvest. And unfortunately, I've just realised I've actually planted the wrong crop, which is not great. That was supposed to be a sugar beet field. So instead, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to plant one of these two fields here with sugar beets and get around it that way. Bit of a mistake on my part there, but unfortunately not a lot I can do about that now. So I'm going to drop this down here. All of our silage, as I say, is ready to go, but it's a little strewn out, and I want to sell it at the same price rather than have the price constantly dropping every time we run out of available silage in front of our conveyor belt. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be pushing some silage using our rower system. So I need to connect up here. There we go. Let's get some more light. We need to disconnect the front piece. There we go. We just want this. And let's see if we can pull back the rest of this cloth. There we go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shovel all of this up towards the front so that hopefully our conveyor can pick the whole thing up in one nice, easy sort of maneuver. It's going to be a little bit tricky, and ideally I would like to use the 800 series for this, but we do need that for ploughing, so just need to clear a little bit of space here. There we go. So in other news, we are less than 24 hours away from finding out the winners of the 2017 mod contest. FarmCon is kind of underway. Everyone's getting set up. The official FarmCon meet is tomorrow and Sunday. And tomorrow night they will be having a little presentation ceremony for the winners of the 2017 mod contest. So next week, hopefully, we should start seeing some of those mods potentially get put into testing for console. So exciting times ahead in terms of mod news and in terms of DLC news as well. We thought Giants might make the announcement at E3. They kind of hinted at that they were going to announce something at E3 and then didn't. However, they have announced today the Platinum expansion for Farming Sim. So this is essentially the gold expansion that we had for Farming Sim 15 and the titanium expansion for Farming Sim 13. It's the mid-cycle expansion. We're going to get a new map, we're going to get some new equipment, and it's time to sort of go through some of that information with you. So we're going to be heading to South America with the expansion. Brand new environment, which means we're going to get lots of brand new scenery types, new vegetation, new locational, sort of idiosyncrasies. Really curious to see how that's going to look and play as well. It's definitely going to be a really pretty looking location, I think. On top of that, we are getting a new crop type. We're getting sugarcane. So we're going to get another new crop. I'm amazed that we're getting another new crop. I honestly had no idea that we would get a third new crop in this game. In this this particular version of the game. I figured we wouldn't see anything new crop-wise now until Farming Sim 19, but they are adding in sugarcane as a new crop, which means we're going to get some really, really awesome new machinery. So we're going to start. The main sort of cover equipment that they're showing off is a Case IH sugarcane harvester. Let me see if I can just pull up the actual official name of this piece of machinery. It is the Case IH A8800MR sugarcane harvester. It's really, really, weird looking. Because obviously it's a very specialised piece of equipment. It looks nothing like a traditional harvester. It looks more like it has something in common with the Terra Felis that we use to pick up beets off the ground from the Holmer range. It has more in common with that in terms of appearance than it does with a traditional harvester. But it looks pretty funky, and on top of that we're also going to be getting new brands added to the franchise as well. We're going to be getting equipment from Poland, South America and Australia. So those brands will be Stara, Double TT, Bison and Gessner. So that will be the first time any of those brands, I think, have ever officially been part of the Farming Simulator family. So definitely some new equipment on the way. And on top of that, we're going to get new tractors, probably. We're going to get, I would imagine we're going to get, small versions of the sugarcane harvester as well. I mean, whereas with sugar beets and potatoes, we have, the small sort of pull-along versions from Grimmer. I would imagine... There we go, get that in place. I would imagine that we're going to get something very similar from the game with this update as well. Something very small, like a mini pull behind or pull in front kind of combination harvesting unit for sugar canes, and then obviously the case will be the big showpiece piece of equipment that'll cost a small fortune to buy in game. But I'm also curious to see what other kind of equipment we're going to get. Obviously we're going to need specialized planting equipment, that goes without saying, and I would imagine we may get new spraying equipment of some kind, perhaps. I'm not really sure how you fertilize and treat sugarcane. I don't really know anything about sugarcane farming, so that's something that is going to be interesting to really find out a bit more about in the upcoming weeks and months. And maybe we'll get some new groundworking equipment as well. Also, in one of the pictures, just kind of tucked away in the side, you actually see a dirt bike, which begs the question, are we going to get a rideable dirt bike? And I think the answer is probably going to be yes. I think we may well get a riding dirt bike as a new piece of equipment in the game, a new rideable vehicle. So that would be the South American equivalent of having a pickup truck or a transit van. It would be a dirt bike to enable us to get around from field to field. That would be really interesting to see. So can't wait to find out more details about this pack, and no doubt Giants will drip feed little bits of information on occasion. I mean, I imagine we'll see and hear more around Gamescom later in the year. And in terms of release date, we know that the pack is going to be released on November the 14th. So quite a way off yet. We're talking five months away, just under 5 months until that DLC drops. That's a long time to come. But it's going to definitely be an interesting period of time coming up. Like I say, I cannot wait to find out more information. Looking forward to when we start to see fact sheets come through with breakdowns on the information itself. There could be some really, really awesome stuff. So let's keep our fingers crossed that this expansion is really going to bring a lot of new gameplay options to the series. I mean, just bringing in an additional crop in itself is great news. It will help to really change things up. And I would imagine that everything that they're doing will be usable on any map, rather than just the just the new map. I would imagine we'll be able to plant sugarcane anywhere. But it opens up the possibilities for modders as well, with new mod equipment and new mod maps and so on and so forth. A lot of really interesting stuff could well come out of this announcement over the next few weeks. So keep your ears peeled, keep your eyes peeled as well. I will obviously make announcements on stuff on my Facebook page. As soon as I find out new information, I'll try and drip feed some of that through into the videos for you as well. And hopefully, times are changing for Farming Sim. We've sold a huge chunk of silage already. You can see the money is just flooding upwards. And we've been shoveling constantly just to make sure that the area in front of the conveyor is fully fed at all times. And the price has been holding steady. We're getting a great price of 1,198 euros per 1,000 litres. It's a really, really nice price. And it hasn't dipped since we started, simply because we haven't broken the supply going into that conveyor. It's still going, it's still a continuous stream. It's like having a trailer that hasn't finished tipping. The price hasn't dropped because we haven't broken the supply of feed going into the sell point. The second that stops, that price is going to plummet. Which is why I've been working like this, to try and make sure that it all goes through in a single sale. And that way we get the whole lot of it sold at that nice price of just under 1,200 euros per tonne. And as we hit the $300,000 mark, you can see we still have over 100,000 litres of silage left to be processed. It's dropping all the time, but it's still going through. And if we look at the price, it's still holding at 1,198. That's because, as I said, we haven't interrupted the stream of silage going up the conveyor. We haven't broken. It's still one single tip as things stand right now, which is why that price hasn't fluctuated. I absolutely love this. We are making so much by doing it this way. It's a little bit more labor intensive, but it's definitely a lot more financially viable to do it this way. Still holding that price, still hasn't dipped, so still looking good. Oh, it just dipped. It just broke the stream. And the price has dropped by only a little bit, only by $100. And why has that stopped? Oh, I think because we've moved. Yeah, we've pushed the conveyor belt, look, because we pushed up too far. That's a shame. Okay, we can fix this. Oh, there we go. Bunker silo is empty. We are done. We have cleared out our bunker, and look how much money we have now. Oh, that is so nice. We have a €240,000 loan. We can pay all of that off right now and see how much we have left over. $197,000. That's really, really nice. So let's look at what we can spend some of that money on. Really want to expand our fields. So how much is field 1 going to cost us? 200,000. How about field 13? 230,000. How about a Black Beauty? 290,000. Oh, choices, choices. How much will I get if I sold one of my Fendt 700s? This is probably the one to get rid of. This is the 200. No, this is the 724. So we want to keep the 724. So how much will I get for selling this? Let's take this over to the store and see what we'll get as a trade-in for it. Okay, so trade-in price of this 720, €137,000. You know what? We're buying a Black Beauty. There we go. Engine setup, 300 horsepower. That'll take us to 320 with a 360 horsepower engine for a 936. Don't really need a 939 just yet, and it's slightly out of our price range as well. What about wheel options? Wheel weights, wide tyres, twin wheels, standard. Let's go with wide tyres and a 936. That we can afford, so let's take a look at our brand new addition to the farm. There it is. Oh, and doesn't that look good? I am really, really happy that we have a 900 series on the farm. Just taking a quick screenshot there. So let's finish off the ploughing and then come back in the morning and sort everything out. So it's morning and we've given our farmer a little bit of a lay-in for working so late the previous night. But here it is, our beautiful, beautiful Black Beauty, a Fendt 936. And as you can see, we have also bought a new seeder. So we've traded in the old Vardestadt seeder. That's gone, replacing it with a Horsch Pronto. And on top of that, we have also bought field 13. Now, that has a soybean crop on it. No, in fact, it has a canola crop on it, not soybeans. It has, let's say, a canola crop on it. It's in a good stage of growth. You know, it's not far from being ready to harvest. We need to replant these fields here, which we'll be using our new equipment to do. And I've also gone ahead and I've churned up field 33 and reseeded it, this time with sugar beets. And on top of that, I have also just tended to the animals just a little bit. So given the sheep a little bit of a clean and topped up their water tanks. Done the same with our cows. I've topped up their water and given them a little bit of a clean. They're out of straw now, so we'll have to deal with that in just a moment. And on top of that, I have also refilled their water tanks. So their food is pretty good. I'm going to run them down just a little bit, but we are going to top up their straw. So let's sort things out over here. I've had a little bit of a reorganisation. So the 724 now lives up here. We're going to have the 724 and then the 828 and then the 936 will sit just there. And our 300 now lives on the dairy farm. So we're going to go grab the 936, the little 300 series. And we're going to go and retrieve our trailer from the sell point, our little trailer. That's going to come live down here as well, because we're going to use that for transporting grass and straw and so on and so forth. So I will catch you as soon as we get to the trailer. So the trailer has been retrieved, and on top of that I've also called in at the farm with the pigs to retrieve the front weight for this tractor, just because it is quite a lightweight vehicle, so it is going to struggle with quite a bit of the equipment. This just gives us a little bit more of an option. We have a heavier weight here as well, but we'll keep that one on as pretty much standard, I think, just, you know, to aid stability on this tractor. So we need to sort out the straw situation. And this is what we want the trailer for. So there we go. Plenty of straw in there. And we just empty all that out. Well, not all of it, but enough. So we've got 18,000 here. That's probably way more than we need. There we go, 9,000 litres of straw used to top up the bedding for our cows. So we'll dump the rest back in there. And there we go. And is the bedding sorted out for our cows, so they will now start producing manure again. So now it's time to use our brand new tractor, our big beastie. Now this seeder needs 270 horsepower to pull it. This has 360, so more than enough. We could, in theory, use this with the with the 828 that we have. That has 280 horsepower. However, this is a little bit hilly in places, this map, so any kind of serious gradient and it's really going to slow down to a crawl trying to pull this seeder up those hills. So we'll probably just do this planting run with the 936 and see how we do. So let's go fill her up. It's such a beautiful cockpit in here. I mean, look how gorgeous this this cockpit is. Absolutely love it. one of the DLC tractors, this one, that was available at the launch of the game. If you have the tractor pack, then you get this. I think you get the field snakes and the Cow Edition Vultra as part of that package. There is also a Black Massey. I think that is sort of platform limited. I'm not sure if that's available on every platform. And of course there is the Blue Holland, the New Holland Blue Power T7, which is only available on PlayStation format as an official. Obviously there's a modded version on PC, but not available to Xbox users, not available officially to PC users. That was kind of an exclusive reskin of the T7 purely for PlayStation users. So we'll put some fertilizer in. There we go. Let's do the same with the seed. And, what have we got? A great demand for barley. I think we actually have barley. Hey, that's not a bad price, $5.99. We got 37,000. That'll be 2 trailers worth, or 2 trips anyway. I think we might sell that, you know. We've got a few hours on that demand, so we're going to wait and just see what happens to the price, see if it goes up a little bit, or if it goes down a little bit, or if it stays the same, and then we'll make a decision on what we want to do. But first off, we need to decide what crop we want to plant, so let's have a look, see what we have in stock. Obviously we have barley that we're about to sell. We do have wheat. We don't have canola, so canola's looking pretty strong. We have some sunflowers, and we have some soybeans, and we have a crop of soybeans that's already growing on that field that we've just bought as well. So we don't have to worry about soybeans just yet. I might do another round of sunflowers, and I think I'll do canola as well. So we're going to put some canola down on our big field. Yeah, the one that we just created last episode. Obviously, we don't need to cultivate because the Pronto will do that for us. There we go. Let's get it lined up properly. That's looking pretty good. Oh. Hopefully, this will plant over the top of that. There we go. Let's see. Have I just made a horrible mistake? Fruit types. Scroll up, moment of truth. Looks as though we got away with it. Looks as though it did plant those that canola over the top of it. Oh, and of course, actually, no, that's canola on there as well. So, in that case, we might well do soybeans and sunflowers, a field of each, maybe, or maybe 2 fields of sunflowers. See how I feel. I'd like to do another silage run at some point in the future as well. That was really nice to be able to get this beast and upgrade a little bit of equipment. But it'd be nice to be able to get an extra couple of fields in as well. So we might do another silage run to buy some more fields in the not too distant future. Alright, so taking a look at our animal chart, we can see that our piggies are now very hungry. We have 0 food for any of them. They do have some straw, and they have some water, so we'll sort those things out first of all. Their productivity has dropped to 10%, but they are at least still going to be producing some manure and some slurry. So we need 700. And we have a straw blower around the corner, so we'll use that to blow the straw into the field, into the sort of pig enclosure for us. We don't have that many pigs. We only have, what, 28 pigs or so. So, not many. They won't need a huge amount of straw. And we're coming at this the wrong way round because of the way the blower is. We need to be this way. There we go. So there we go, filling up the straw really nicely there. First bale's done. And made a little dent on the second bale. And now they have plenty of straw. Fully maxed out on straw. So I'll put this back. It's a great little piece of equipment actually, this straw blower. I really do like it. Very useful on tight cramped yards like this. So, water next. And we're going to need another small trailer, I think. So, we may have to take out a little bit of loan. We've got 30,000 left. We may need to take out a little bit of a loan to buy another trailer. Okay, so that's the water topped up. So, pigs are looking a lot happier in those columns. Miserable everywhere else. So let's see. Trailers. We want something really small. I don't really want this one because of the axle. So I think I might just get a little Brantner. Although we could get another one of those. Or even one of those. They're 22,000. Plenty of free slots. Yeah, I think what we'll do is let's take out the rest of the money that we have. Let's buy one of those. And we'll keep it in standard colours. We won't bother with a wooden wall. Let's buy that. There we go. And now we have one of each of the modded Joskin trailers, so let's go grab that. So there we go, there is our new trailer. And there's another reason why I bought this one as well, is because this one can be linked to another trailer. So we could get another one of those, or any other trailer pretty much could connect to that as well. Or at least most of the ones that I've tried connecting to it will connect. Obviously there will be some, I think, probably some exceptions. But the reason I got that one as well means that when we do a grain delivery, we can connect that to our 28,000 litre capacity trailer with this 22,001, I think it's 22,000. Means we can tow around 50,000 plus litres of grain when it comes to making a sale. So we can do that in a single trip, rather than having to take two separate tractors and two separate trailers. So here we are, back at the farm. It's time to feed our pigs. And this is the first time I've ever done this, feeding them properly. So that's the tip point, isn't it? There's the downspout. So we're going to add in all the various different grain crops that they need. And then once the beets are ready, we'll add in the beets as well. So let's add in wheat. I'm guessing that'll be more than enough that we need, considering we don't have that many pigs and we're putting together a proper food mix. Squeeze through that. Come on. There we go. Alright, so We can tip in what we need and then drop the rest straight off in the back in the silo right in front of us. So, animal tab. There we go. 4,000 needed of wheat or barley. Sorted. So we'll tip that back in. And let's do the same now with the next one. So we want canola or sunflowers. We have sunflowers. We have no canola. $6,000 should be enough. So yeah, I can't believe I've had this game all this time and I've never fed pigs with anything other than pre-mixed pig food. I mean, I don't tend to run pigs that often, so it's probably not that surprising when you think about it, but there we go. We only needed 3,000 of that, so now we need corn and potatoes or sugar beets. Well, we don't have any root crops just yet, but we do have some growing. So let's get rid of the last of the sunflowers. Let's go get some corn. Now, I'm guessing we're going to need quite a bit of corn. That is what gets thrown out every time they make a mess in their food trough. So just to be on the safe side, we'll load up with about 10,000 litres. There we go. You can see there's corn on the floor already. Alright, so how much corn are they going to need? Okay, there we go. 7,866 litres of corn was required. So we have everything we need now, apart from root crops. So that productivity should start to shoot back up again. It says 32% right now. It will go up even further. Let's tip the rest of the corn back in. And let's check in on that great demand. 599. Price has not fluctuated at all. So let's go sell our barley. That was a little clumsy. Let's try that again. And for this, we're going to use the 800 series to pull, just because it has that extra horsepower that this one simply doesn't. You know, it's not much, 40 horsepower difference, but it does make a difference, especially on these hills. It is a very steep run up to the shop. There we go. So we jump into the 828. And that should back up onto our other trailer. Or at the very least, actually no, this one won't back up, but the other one will back up onto that one. Just give that a little nudge. There we go. And there we go. We have a little grain train. So, where is our wheat? There it is. 24. Oh, actually, we can. I forgot because we've. Oh, it's barley we're selling, isn't it? We're selling our barley on our great demand. So that'll be enough for the first trailer, and then the rest will all go into this one. As we get into the town, this is where it's going to get tricky. Very tight turns here. We're going to be hopping the curbs ever so slightly, but we should be able to make it around these corners if we're careful. Oh, that's close, yes, but we made it. So we want sale point 2, which I believe is this first one here. Yes, it is. There we go. So let's tip the first trailer. See that sale price is a great demand, so we don't have to worry about tipping at the same time. 6,000 from the first trailer. This is where the big crop is. And another 15,000 there. So we've made 22 and a bit there. That's not bad for a small amount of barley. And to make things a little bit easier, we're actually going to get rid of this big 28,000 litre trailer, and we're going to replace it with a second one of these smaller trailers, just to make things a little bit more manoeuvrable and help avoid situations like that. Have to get wider. I've got a lamppost in the way. Cut back. Come on, we can make this. There we go. Just scraping the side of that car. I really wish that wasn't there. I don't know why that car spawns there. It's just so problematic all the time. You can see how this second rear trailer has a much bigger profile. It's wider, it's longer, and it's just a little bit more problematic. It's served us well, but it's time to replace it and upgrade it. When I say upgrade it, we're actually technically we're downgrading, I suppose, in some respects, getting a smaller trailer, but we're getting, you know, a matching pair of trailers which will work and look better and be easier to store as well. So we'll get 19,000 back for that. That's a pretty good price considering how long we've had it. And we'll get a wooden wall on the second trailer. We can always take it off again if we want. And I think that definitely looks a little bit better to have two trailers the same size. Oh dear. Making all sorts of errors today. But yeah, I definitely think that looks better. Having two, you know, matching trailers effectively. Slightly different configuration, but essentially the same trailers. Oh, we're not going to beat the traffic. Alright, now we're going to risk it. We've got to try and take both of them because we can't really squeeze into the gap unless we force our way in. And I don't think we'll clear I don't think we'll clear this car before something else comes over the hill. Oh, we're going to get away with it. We're going to get away with it. Beautiful. So I knew as soon as we hit that hill we'd be golden. So there we go. In fact, actually, we'll make this a viewer choice. Which of these two trailer load styles do you prefer? Do you like it with the front trailer with the little white attachment at the front, or do you prefer the rear trailer with the little wooden wall? Which of those two trailers do you prefer? They're essentially exactly the same, but which loadout do you like? White attachment at the front or with the wooden wall on the back trailer? Let me know in the comments below, and then we will amend the losing trailer to match the winning trailer. So let me know in the comments, and I'll tally them up, and we'll make the edit next week. So for now, let's put these away. Well, as is to be pretty much expected when working with canola, we've ran out of seed. We almost finished the field, so did a pretty good job there to do all of that land. If we hadn't combined them and left them as separate fields, then he would have had enough to do both of them. But as it was, just a little bit short. So we'll go and top it up, because we've also got 2 more fields to seed as well. So we're back underway, and we're going to put some soybeans down on the next couple of fields so we can have a nice good cash crop to sell at the end of the harvest alongside some of that canola as well. So this field 3 and field 2, just the other side of the fence, they're both going to get the soybean treatment. So there we go. That's field 3 done. Time to work on field 2. So there we go. We are just about finished on the field now. Last little bit. There we go. So let's recap where we are exactly. We have field 13 with canola and our new 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 field. Got to come up with a bigger, with a better name for that. That also has canola as well. Fields 2 and 3 both have soybeans, and we have our sugar beets planted and growing on field 33. In terms of fertilization, 33 completely fertilized. One stage because it was grass that was cut. Second stage of that was because we accidentally planted corn, and the seeder that we used, also fertilizes. And the third stage was when we ripped that up and then replanted with sugar beets. So using that seeder again applied another stage of fertilization. And one stage applied to fields 2 and 3, and our big field as well. They all have a single stage of fertilization. In terms of field 13, we just bought that, so it's going to need ploughing when we harvest it. In terms of fertilization, that has a single stage, which I applied as a contract job just before I bought it, just to gain an extra couple of thousand, and also to drop the price a couple of thousand as well. So there we go. That is our new look landmass. I've also done a contract work on field 1 just to plant some seed. Can't afford to buy that field now. It's a little bit too expensive for us, but that will be the next field that we buy. Will be field 1, and then we'll own everything along the top here, which would be quite nice. In terms of equipment, obviously we have swapped out our seeder and replaced it with the Horsch Pronto. We now have a wonderful 936 on our farm as well. Big, beefy, monstrous Black Beauty there. Wonderful tractor. Such a gorgeous interior as well. Look how detailed it is in here. How lovely it is. Absolutely love this tractor. It's essentially just a reskin of a standard 936, just with the Black Beauty paint scheme rather than the traditional Fendt colour scheme. So we have black paint job and a white, well, I say white, a light coloured grille, a light grey grille there, as opposed to a dark grille and the green paint scheme that you would normally see. But essentially it's exactly the same, has the same power levels, same outputs, same price. It's just a slightly different skinned tractor, that's all. But it looks good. It looks damn good. and so there we go. Everything is done. We've also sorted out some of our animals a little bit, and in the next episode we will start working on harvesting maybe again, and getting those sugar beets and some of that canola in for us. Maybe look at doing some more work with our animals. So thanks for watching. I am Jim Bob, and I will catch you back on Fendt Farm next week.